Slaughter, Ashley Russell, and Ari Asani for helping me prepare these words. I'm grateful for your support. On our first day of orientation, there was a total solar eclipse. The team overseeing orientation gave us some funky, retro-looking glasses we could use to protect our eyes, and then we walked from the Health Sciences building, our new home for the next couple of years, to an empty parking lot and looked up at the sun. There was something special about standing there together, huddled amongst each other, staring up at the sky. It was a truly unifying event for us all. The thing is, while the moment certainly felt meaningful, I wasn't actually sure whether or not the solar eclipse represented a beginning or an ending. To be honest, the idea of something covering the sun, of losing light, seemed like an ending to me. When I told people I was going to medical school, they sort of said goodbye to me. You'll be so busy, I know I won't see you. Well, let's keep in touch if possible. The day before orientation started, one of my brothers was truly like, well, bye. Good luck. Some of us might have envisioned that while we were in school, time would pass us by. We would be drowning in readings and notes, tucked in some corner of the library, while our loved ones continued living their lives out in the real world. So as we stood under the obstructed sun that first day, I absolutely sensed the elation, pride, and determination flowing between my classmates. After all, we were finally here. We were going to do whatever it took to succeed. We were on our way to making our dreams realities. But I also felt like we were saying goodbye to the versions of ourselves that had existed up until that point. We were preparing to put our relationships with loved ones to the test, knowing that those relationships would be put under strain. I felt like I was bracing myself for a few years of darkness. I felt a little scared. I wondered if any of you felt that way too. When school formally began, I think we were generally confused. We were trying to form genuine connections with a bunch of strangers. As you've heard, we were lost in the pipe-laden Health Sciences building, needing help to find classrooms. We were forgetting our ID badges, getting locked out of the student lounge. Some of us had taken a few years off from school, and we were trying to remember how to listen to a lecturer while taking notes at the same time. Others of us were frustrated that note-taking and study methods that had helped us learn only a few months ago didn't seem to be working. We felt uncomfortable calling our distinguished mentors by their first names. Andy. Our palms were sweaty when we shook hands with patients. But as time went on, we got the hang of this whole medical school thing. Strangers became study group members, anatomy partners, and friends. We could mostly navigate the Health Sciences building, even while half asleep after staying up too late studying for the morning's midterm. We opened the student lounge with IDs tucked in snazzy lanyards. We developed the ability to keep up with lecture and take notes in an organized fashion. Some of us even got so skilled that we could listen to lecture while making flashcards about the current topic. Now note I said some, not all of us. In between lectures, a lot of us were stretching and snacking, but not the flashcard masters. They were sitting there clicking through Anki flashcards like champions. Well done, you all. Our mentors remained distinguished, but they also grew to feel like real people. And it was normal for us to holler out their first names from the other end of the hallway, excited to see them during a busy week. Our hands sweat less when talking to patients. We smiled and introduced ourselves, glanced at what medication was in their ID bag, and noted that they were aware of who they were and what day it was and why they were in the hospital, all before we'd sat down and asked the patient to share their story with us. didn't know or how many points you missed. But we've noticed immense progress in each other. Our mentors have noticed progress too. Hopefully we can all take a minute to look back for ourselves and realize just how far we've come. And now here we are at our transition ceremony, AKA, for all confused, White Coat Ceremony Part 2. I know a lot of us are still focused on the fact that we don't know everything. After all, our Step 1 exam is around the corner, but let's give ourselves a chance to breathe and celebrate. And let's also give ourselves a little more credit for making it this far. It's true that we don't know everything, but we know a lot. We'll be ready to pass our board exams soon. And then we'll know just enough to let our future attendings feel comfortable letting us go into patient rooms, to evaluate patients on our own, type up some notes, and think of reasonable explanations for patients' illnesses and plans of action. It might seem a little daunting, but I know we can do it. Now, bear with me, because I'm going to talk for a moment about Spider-Man, who is my favorite superhero. Many of you already know this about me, but I felt it was essential to take this opportunity to let everyone know. We can debate his place at the top of the superhero world later. For now, I want to talk about what happens when he gets his official Spider-Man suit. Before he has the official suit, he usually wears a makeshift suit that might be made out of sweatpants, and he's in his becoming Spider-Man phase. He can't really control his powers, he doesn't know what he's capable of. The poor guy is slipping down the walls he tries to climb, he's running out of webbing, and you know, he is saving people, but he isn't very graceful. Sometimes he kind of just sticks people in a web, and then the police have to come and get the people down, and it's a whole thing. He's a bit of an eager, well-intentioned mess. But he works his way through that early phase, learning quickly and growing more skilled every day. And then he reaches the moment where he gets his official suit. And this is about the moment where he internally accepts his identity as Spider-Man. The suit empowers him to be the person he has already done the hard work to become. Clearly, we are all Spider-Man. Our first white coats, thankfully, were not made from sweatpants, but we knew that they were our preliminary suits. And when we got them, we knew that we would have to do a lot of hard work to earn our next level white coats, with our names on them. We have done that work, and we have earned our official third-year suits. I know sometimes it feels uncomfortable walking around in a white coat when you feel unsure of your abilities and your knowledge, but it's time for us to internalize our new identities as third-year students capable of being meaningful contributors on a medical team. We still have a lot of learning to do, but we're well on our way, and I think we know a lot more than we realize. At the end of the day, Spider-Man succeeds. His community supports him when he's weary. They remind him of who he is. And no matter what happens, he gets up and keeps going. We too have people to support us. Some of them are here with us today. And we too will succeed. I certainly want to celebrate this moment, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the work we need to do extends beyond using medications and procedures to treat patients. As you are all well aware, the isms and the phobias are alive and well in our country. Sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, xenophobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. I'm sure there are many that I'm forgetting to name. They are alive in our beloved country. And in fact, they are thriving. I expect us all to do something about these isms and phobias. We must do something. By do, I mean concrete action. Facebook and opinion pieces are useful means to share information and explore differing viewpoints, but solely posting a status is not enough. Doing something will look different for all of us. Some of us will become mentors to those most affected by discrimination and hate. maybe by leading a workshop in the clinic. Some will treat every patient as a dignified individual, showing each of them the respect and compassion that they deserve. No matter how we choose to take action, we can never forget our responsibility to act. And it is, without doubt, our responsibility. As we have learned over the past year and a half, our patients' well-being depends on the actions we take to end the mistreatment that too many face. Spider-Man understands that with great power comes great responsibility. It's a well-worn quote that I'm sure most of us have heard. It's also very true. We need to live by that mantra. Power goes hand in hand with responsibility. Now, to our loved ones in this room and across the world, thank you. Thank you for cooking for us, cleaning for us, calling us to check on how things are going, understanding when we couldn't be there for you as you were there for us. Thanks for laughing at our cheesy medical jokes, crying with us, and for celebrating our victories, no matter how small. Thank you for being here now, in person or in spirit. Thank you for staying by our sides as we continue this journey. We need you, we love you, and we're so glad you're in our lives. To our mentors, thank you for listening to us botch patient presentations and watching us fumble through physical exams without judgment or frustration. For guiding our hands when they weren't sure where they should go. For offering suggestions to better our case presentations. For helping us process this life-altering experience. Thank you for showing us the kind of doctors we want to be. We can't wait to show you all everything that we've learned. I hope you'll be proud of us. And finally, to my peers, thank you guys. I wouldn't have made it this far without you. Thanks for finishing study guides with me and sticking by me in the anatomy lab until the wee hours of the morning. Thanks for making me laugh and tolerating my grumblings. Thanks for leaving free food in the lounge after all of your awesome club events. Going forward, I know that we won't be seeing each other as often, but know that we can still be there for each other, over the phone, over Zoom, on our Facebook page. However we can reach each other, wherever we are. It's been an honor learning with you thus far, and I'm going to be so proud to be your colleague in the future. Writing these words gave me the opportunity to reflect back to that humbling first day of orientation. Back then, the solar eclipse we saw felt more like an ending, and in some ways it was. We have all changed a great deal since then, and we've left some parts of ourselves in the past. But the eclipse was also a beginning. Yes, there was a shadow, but then there was movement, and the sky was again filled with light. Light that was even more radiant for having come just after a period of darkness. This ceremony is another occasion to